Let's go for it!
Hey everybody, welcome to The Dark Stuff. Thanks a lot for checking out this video. This is going to be heavy on replacements oriented stuff, which is not uncommon for my channel, but this one's especially replacements heavy. So if you have something against them, I don't know why you're subscribed or why you're watching this anyways, but I'm just saying maybe this is one you want to pass on, but I wouldn't do that. That would be premature thinking on your part. I want to talk a little bit about some new records that I just got. And it ties into this PledgeMusic thing, okay? Which is the crowdsourcing, fundraising type of deal where bands are asking fans to pay upfront for stuff, and they use that money for recording costs. And it's sort of like this new method because record labels are pretty much dying, and unless you're, you know, Katy Perry or Lady Gaga or Beyonce or one of these mega stars, the labels just don't want to shell out a lot of cash for you to go in the studio and make music. So I get that. So recently, it came about towards the end of last year that Tommy Stinson, formerly of The Replacements and Guns N' Roses, was going to revive the name of his old band, Bash and Pop, and put out a new Bash and Pop record. And in addition to that, the original Bash and Pop record, which came out in 1993, was going to be issued on vinyl for the first time. So I immediately went over to PledgeMusic, signed up for an account, gave my credit card, ordered both of them, and was like, bam, score. So I kind of thought that since I had paid in advance for the album, that I would be getting it the same time that they hit stores, or maybe even in advance since I paid in advance. That didn't happen. Okay, the album was released to stores on, I think, January 20th. I'm filming this on, February 23rd, and I just got them this morning. So they've been in stores for a month before I got my copy. That's very frustrating. Okay, now I did get a download code the night before it was released, so I've heard the album numerous times. It's awesome, by the way, the new album. Anything could happen. But I wanted the physical one, you know? I mean, I paid for it, you know, and it reminds me of that classic Seinfeld bit where he makes a car reservation and he goes to the car place and they tell him that they don't have any cars.
But the reservation keeps the car here. That's why you have the reservation.
I know why we have reservations.
I don't think you do.
And it was a big thing about taking a reservation versus holding a reservation, right? That was the joke. So I guess this is a long-winded way of saying that it took a long time for me to finally get the Bash and Pop album, Anything Could Happen. Now, I have it. It's a beautiful packaging. It's fantastic. It's gatefold. It's really, really nice. Obviously, it was made since last November because it's got a little devil picture and it says President Trump on it. It's an awesome album. It sounds exactly like the old Bash and Pop from 1993. Even though it's Bash and Pop in name only, because most of the guys that played on that band in the first place didn't even make it to where the tour went, you know, because like Bash and Pop originally was 4 guys, and when I saw them on tour in 1993, they had this Asian girl on bass, and I'm pretty sure they had a different lead guitar player than the one that was on the record. I know Steve Foley was the drummer originally, and he was the one who played drums for the Replacements on their final tour, so that's why he was known. But anyways, I got the record. I have it. It's amazing. I love Tommy Stinson. My Tommy Stinson video from a few months ago is still among my favorites ever, and I'll link to it so you can watch it again. I have a history with Tommy Stinson. But I just don't get it, the PledgeMusic thing. I don't understand. And you know what? I also got the original album, Bash and Pop. Friday Night is Killing Me from 1993, which had never been released on vinyl before. Comes with a pretty nice booklet, which is, the same as the CD booklet that I have from back in my original, but it's nice to have the pictures real big, and there's the band as they were back in 1993. That's Steve Foley, Tommy Stinson. So both of them arrived in the mail, and they are really great packages. I dropped the needle on it just to kind of see how it sounded. They both sounded really, really good. Now, if there's some fine print somewhere that I checked a box not knowing, or I didn't read correctly and it said I'd be getting it months later than everyone else, I mean, maybe I did. I'm not holding out. I will hold out the possibility that I might have misread something, but I don't think so. Hey, mistakes happen. But I don't know why I would voluntarily do that, considering I could have just gone to the store and paid for it, and I would have had it a month ago. In my 20 questions video, one of the questions was, show a gift, right? And so I showed my Replacements, the Twin Tone Years box set, and said that I just got it as a gift from my brother, and I would talk about it in my next video. So that's where we're at. Here is the next video. The Replacements' entire catalog has been reissued on vinyl in 2 separate box sets, dividing their career exactly in half, with their first 4 albums, which were on the independent label Twin Tone back in the day, and their final 4 albums, which were on a major label, Sire Warner Brothers. So they split them up into the Twin Tone Years box and the Sire box. My brother asked me what I wanted for my birthday. I pointed out both of them, and I said, just choose one. I'm okay with either one. Although I did slightly want the Twin Tone one, just because those are my favorite records. Now, the box itself is really cool. I love that picture. I like how the albums look like they're sort of taped on the back and stuff, and it's a great collection. The records themselves, however, are decent, but there's very, very minimal packaging, very, very plain. The sleeves are all just, the plain anti-static sleeves with the, now the logos, they did make it look like the old Twin Tone logos. You can see that, which is good. That's a nice attention to detail that it's appreciated. So the set comes with the debut album, Sorry Ma, forgot to take out the trash. It's got their second record, Stink, which the originals of this were hand printed. So, you're never going to get it to look exactly like that. But this one, they try to, making it all dirty and whatever. Hootenanny. And the colors are a little washed out on this one, I think. I don't know. And there's Let It Be, the final album, which I used to own an original on Twin Tone back in the day, and I had to sell it at one point. So this does look very much like the original, but of course they do have the manufactured and marketed by Rhino Entertainment, making it different. But they even have the old Twin Tone address on Oliver, which is they hadn't been there in forever. If you're a Replacements collector, you're probably just going to get it anyways. But I would say if you're looking at getting the Replacements catalog, okay, because you're interested in the band, you have some of it or whatever, this is the rare occasion where I would say get the CDs instead, because the entire catalog has been reissued on CD. These are the 4 Twin Tone records. The difference is that these all have tons of expanded material and lots of extra stuff. They have liner notes, they have great pictures, and all of them have a minimum of like 6 or 7 bonus tracks on each one. So you're getting like albums worth of extra material. Hootenanny has 6 extra tracks. Let It Be has 6 extra tracks. Stink, let's see, the original album was 7 tracks. This has 12, so that's an extra 5. And then Sorry Ma has an additional 12 cuts on that one. Digital mastering, CD mastering has gotten to a point now in the 21st century where the argument about vinyl versus CD is really just preference. It's not that you can say one is better than the other. That's my thing. I think it's objectively they're the same, but it's subjective which one you like better. Aesthetically, I like vinyl, but I'm not going to just be like, oh, digital is so terrible. It depends. But in this case, I just think that the CDs are a better value. They're cheaper. They have way more material. They have liner note. It's just like, this is a cool reissue, and I'm glad to have it. I wanted it, and I'm glad to have the albums on vinyl, but they offer you nothing in terms of bonus material or even pictures of the band on the inside. Just nothing. Nothing. In terms of non-related replacements, records, or music that I've gotten recently that I just thought I'd mention really quickly, the first one is this band called, from the Dustbunnies. This is Young Chicagoan. This record was given to me as a gift. I'm friends with one of the members in the band. She gave it to me. It's on a label called 1980 Records. It's 1980rex.com. It's really nice indie pop. It's you know, if you're a fan of Bell and Sebastian or something, I think this would be right at home in your collection. I know it's very, very limited. Their website is dustbunnies.com, dustbunnies.com, if you're interested. But this is really good. I've been digging this lately. I've shown this guy, Hanni El Khatib, on previous videos before, his last two records. I had them on vinyl. This one, they sent me the CD for it as a promo. The new one is called Savage Times. He is a Los Angeles-based singer-songwriter who records a great sort of cross between like blues rock, garage rock, and sort of indie rock.
If the ones that hate me don't kill me first, the ones that love me gonna harm me worse. This I know, we don't get along.
One of his albums was produced by Dan Auerbach from the Black Keys. Not this one, but a different one. And it's just really excellent. Every time he puts out a record, I end up liking it. I play it a ton on my radio show, and I'm going to keep endorsing it. So hopefully this guy will catch on at some point. Hanni El Khatib. Okay? And then the last record I want to show you is from Nina Diaz. This is a CD called The Beat Is Dead. And there's Nina on the back there. Now, I got this CD last fall, and I didn't recognize the name Nina Diaz, and this sat in a stack for months, okay? I only recently discovered that I had it. Nina Diaz is the lead singer, or former lead singer, of the band Girl in a Coma. I love the band Girl in a Coma. They're great. They're a Texas, all-Hispanic, female punk rock band that is great. They were going on kind of a hiatus. The three remaining members of the band, minus Nina, put out a band called Fea last year. Their record made my top 50, and I kind of out loud wondered, whatever happened to the singer? Like, why didn't she ever come out with a solo album? Well, I didn't remember her name, so when I saw Nina Diaz, it didn't strike me as being her. So, anyways, now I've had it for a while. It is really good. It's a little bit on the poppier, sort of dancier side. It's not punk rock.
I'll wait a while. I'll bring it back. I think I'm in style. Then again, I am like a child.
I think she's doing a little bit along the lines of what sort of Kristen Control did. Now, Kristen Control used to be the Dum Dum Girls. She sort of had a change from more garagey punk rock to more Madonna-based sort of 80s kind of dance pop. There's a little bit of that in here, but Nina has such a freaking strong voice that even though sometimes the arrangements wear on me a little bit, it's great. I mean, she is really, really good. I hope she goes back to Girl in a Coma, and that's what comes next, but honestly, I don't know.
Kool Keith and I sport my ride, 'cause we're ultra. Who win? MC Ultra. Who win? MC Ultra. Who win? MC Ultra. Kool Keith.
Okay, and then finally, I was going to show you a little bit of footage of some concerts I've seen recently. Some of these I forgot that I even had them, and so it's kind of old. But I'll just show a real quick clip. The first part I'm going to show you is when I saw Kool Keith. This was last December of 2016. I forgot that I had filmed it. I put it in my Dropbox, and I'd kind of forgotten that it was there, and I moved on, and I didn't remember until just the other day.
With precept of the church of the operating room, with the strikes of force.
I saw Kool Keith at the Waiting Room here in Omaha. I've been a fan of Kool Keith since the mid-90s when I first discovered him as half of the group Dr. Octagon. And if you ever get a chance, that Dr. Octagon debut album, The Octagonologist, is in the top 3 best rap albums of all time, in my view. Okay? Take that with a grain of salt. I mean, I'm a white guy from Nebraska, and I'm in my 40s, but still, I say it's the best, in the top 3 rap albums of all time. Seeing Kool Keith this time, he did a lot of material from his from the Dr. Octagon period, from his Sex Style album. So a lot of like late 90s material and some new stuff, because he does have a lot of new material still. He keeps churning out records, but I didn't recognize some of that. But it was a great set. I'm glad I got to see him. He's been elusive for years. I think, you know, the attendance was decent, but it wasn't great. I think that's partly because you know, back then, Kool Keith used to have this reputation of like not showing up for shows. And I think people kind of think that he's still doing that. So a lot of people were like, I don't know, if he doesn't make it here by 11, I'm taking off, you know, because they weren't sure he was going to actually come. And I think that deterred some people from buying tickets. But, you know, again, I don't know. But he was great.
Round the shop, round the road, round to destroy any decoy boy. On the microphone, Papa Lord, big shot in the East Coast. Kool Keith in the house, come on. Papa Lord, big shot in the East Coast. Kool Keith in the house, come on. I'm Papa Lord, big shot in the East Coast. Kool Keith in the house, come on. Papa Lord, big shot in the East Coast.
Okay, the other show that I saw was just recently, about a week or so ago. I saw Rhett Miller at the Reverb Lounge.
It's not the age of reason, didn't have a reason for setting you free. I've seen a lot of love go sour, but that's not our love. You see, the problem was I was only 19. Finished up with high school, headed to a state school, walked right into you.
Now, Rhett Miller is the singer, guitar player of the band Old 97s, great alt country band who's really not doing the alt country thing anymore. I think nowadays they're much more just rock and roll, but you know, you get tagged at that way at one point in your career, and you're going to stay that way. It's the same with like Wilco. They're not really doing alt country anymore either. They're just more rock and roll, but they always get written up as an alt country band. So it was cool seeing Rhett Miller. I've seen the Old 97s a number of times. This was great seeing him in a small place. Crowd was maybe 50, 60 people. The place holds about 100, so it was full, but it wasn't packed. It was nice. It was just Rhett playing solo electric guitar.
I'm not afraid, I'm good with God. I got my sins, in fact, I got a lot. I got a soul that's good and flawed. I'm good with God, I'm good with God. I'm not afraid, got no regrets. I paid my dues, I paid my debts. I've made a mess, but it's my bed. No regrets, no regrets. Goodness knows I've done you wrong. I'm not too gone to see. All I know is I'm good with God. I wonder how she feels about me. I wonder how she feels about me.
I'm not much of a drinker personally, and I had this really big like glass of dark beer that someone bought me, and then someone bought me a second one because I made a bet with a friend, and she lost the bet. So I got another beer. About halfway through that beer, I started to feel like really sick because I don't drink that much, and it was just like, whoa, I better go home. And so I missed the last probably 20 minutes of the show, but it was excellent nonetheless. I mean, Rhett Miller was great, and I know an Old 97s record is on the verge of coming out, so this solo tour is probably over. He's probably just going to do an Old 97s tour, but I would go see that. But, you know, Rhett Miller, too. All right, that pretty much wraps it up. Thanks for staying this long into the video. Much appreciated. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Hallways in giant hotels. Dressing room looks about as good as it smells. Bottles of whiskey, bottles of beer. There's a bottle of medicine somewhere around here. nightclubs or even in bars. Honky tonks and theaters from Memphis to Mars. Oh, most of our shows were a triumph of rock. Some nights I might have been checking the clock. But I'm only human though I'm super at times. I jumped off the risers I should not have climbed. Rock jumps won't kill you until one of them does. Say he died doing what he loved. We had our share of loving in our past. We were all looking for someone who'd laugh.